Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's an awesome moment whenever you get to share lots of stuff. And it's always great to share with you our craziness, our insight, anything that drops in our mind. Really, we've been doing it for quite a long time, and so many of you have moved with us on this journey of seeking knowledge and seeking freedom, seeking wealth, and having better relationships and families.
Exactly, we keep learning.
Yep.
We never stop. We never stop learning. I think the only time you stop learning is when you go back to heaven.
I know. And
I think it's the place of perfect knowledge.
yeah.
But for as long as you're still here on earth, you need to know something.
You're supposed to grow, okay? You're supposed to be very deliberate and very intentional about who it is that you want to become and what kind of impact you want to make in the world. So, Tim and Hilda here, and you can actually get us on all social media platforms. Yes. Go to our YouTube channel, Bahati Hilda Sabiti. Just in case you miss any episode and you would love to go and check out what we have done, please go there, Bahati Hilda Sabiti. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to get any kind of notification when we upload. And then for those of you that want to book either for sessions, you just want to talk, there's a lot that is going on, lack of clarity, and you want clarity about your business, about your relationship, we'll be here to talk you through it all, to hold your hand. If you want mentorship, that's another area that we will be dealing with. So the coach deals with so many things, and we'll be on this side waiting to hold your hand.
Okay. We also appreciate your feedback.
Yes.
Don't hesitate to send us that feedback. Let us know how we can help you better, or how we can serve you better anyway. On 0757 117 feel free anytime. Drop a message, tell us. Okay, if there's anything that you'd want us to discuss or handle, or if there's anything that you would want us to respond to in particular, we'll be available. Would love to do it. Would love to serve you better.
Exactly. And today we go to roundtable number 2, and we are talking about personal growth. Now, this is really juicy because the day you stop growing is the day you die. Yeah. There is nothing like I am stunted. There's nothing I am going down. It's only one way. You either go up or down. Yeah. There's nothing like I'm in the middle somewhere. So you either choose personal growth or you choose personal depreciation. Yeah. Yes. And so here we go. We start, this is beyond success, your path to significance. People who keep learning always have a future.
True. Yeah, I agree.
And if you focus on goals, you may hit goals, but that doesn't guarantee growth.
Exactly.
If you focus on growth, you will grow and always hit the goals.
Exactly.
That is John C. Maxwell. Yes, and it's a very powerful one. So we want to just dive right into it and just talk about it a little more. Do you have a plan for personal growth? And we're casting it to you. Do you have a plan for personal growth? I know so many people don't plan on this. So many people are not intentional. Some of them just find themselves doing certain things because other people are doing them, but they're not very intentional about their own. They don't have a plan.
Yes.
And some of them know that they want the personal growth, but they don't have a strategy or how to actually get there. And actually, John C. Maxwell says that at some point, he was that kind of person, one that didn't know what exactly it meant to have a plan for personal growth, or what it meant for him to even hear or talk about principles of success. And so this question, because he had never before considered personal growth, is something that that bothered him for so long, and that is where we want to start, because so many of us are in that moment, bothered and asking ourselves, what next?
Exactly.
Where do I grow to? Yes. How do I grow? Who helps me? And all those things. So those are the questions that we want to answer tonight. Okay.
And even there are some people that have achieved a bit of success. They have managed to achieve, but they can't tell how. And usually when you have your first success, the next thing is how to maintain it. And that's when it becomes very crucial to have a plan.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes very crucial to have a strategy. Because yes, somehow chance happened. Somehow something happened and you found yourself somewhere. But the question is, what next? And now I was reading a certain book and it was about the next level idea.
Okay.
As in, when I've gotten somewhere. How do I move
to the next level?
Yes, how do I move to the next level? And it challenges you to think beyond your success. It challenges you to plan. It challenges you to
beyond what you have
a
right
strategy.
now.
Even if you somehow found yourself in a certain elevation, in a certain level or amount of success, the question is,
what next?
What next?
You never arrive.
Exactly, because life here, as you said, when you get to the place where you feel you've arrived, then you start going down. And I usually say that for you to have growth, there must be consistency. And consistency here comes by you having a plan, a strategy. It may not be very rocket speed, or it may not be very fast, but you can measure your growth.
A plan is a plan, yeah.
As in, yes, I was A, but now I've gone to B.
This is how I have moved.
And this is how I've been able to move. That, I used to wake up at 8:30, but right now I wake up at 5. And this is how I start my day.
Yes.
And this is how I move throughout my day. And this is how I spend my first 8 hours. And this is how I spend, or this is the amount of time that I sleep.
That means it's very
it's very intentional. There's a plan to eat. There's a strategy to eat. And you can tell that this person has gotten some growth, has seen some results. He's moved from point A to point B. And it's inevitable. It's self-explanatory. Anyone can see that, this
someone
guy
has changed.
Yes, this guy
There's
really
something
changed.
about them.
There's something about them. That's very true.
Wow, and that really sounds so beautiful. For the longest time, I redefined success as progress. Because success is not, there is no amount of money you can get and say, I've reached. There is no amount of money you can make. But when you say, I am going to put one foot in front of the other every day, that means that there is a measurable growth to you. And that means you can never be stunted. That means you seek to learn and you have a plan, because you can't grow just like that. So if you want to live your life at the highest level and reach your potential, you must, as John says, learn how to grow and develop yourself so you have the best chance of becoming the person you were meant to be.
Yep.
Now, the most interesting is the person you were meant to be.
Yes.
There's something that is intended for us.
Yeah.
And I think the Bible talks about predestination, like something that was predestined, that God knew you before you were even placed in your mother's womb, in the sacred places before your body was woven together, your body parts were woven together, and He predestined a certain future for you. That means, because anyone will say, meant to be, who meant it to be? We all believe in a higher power. We believe in God. Whether you're Catholic, you're Muslim, you're born again, we all believe in God.
Yes.
And so He meant something for us. He meant something for you, that you will impact the world, that you will not just exist and eat cassava and sleep.
There was a movie I was watching, it's called Triumph, and it talks about this. It's based on a true story. It talks about this young man who was born crippled, but he believed that
he could wrestle. Yeah,
beyond,
I remember it.
Yes, he believed that he could wrestle, and then he also believed that he was not. In his mind, he believed that he was not a cripple. So he disagreed with everything
with what was.
And everyone else that thought he was a cripple. He wanted to date a nice girl. You remember?
I know, yes.
He went for athletics. And every time they will tell him that you can't do this, he will tell them, I will do it. So in his mind, he was beyond being a cripple.
Even the results will tell him otherwise, but he will believe otherwise.
Even when they told him you can't wrestle, you will die in the ring, he said, I will wrestle and I will win. So you realize it's a mindset.
Yes.
And not only just a mindset, but there's purpose behind it
that pushes
God
you
created him
to be something.
Exactly. So every human being on earth is born for a purpose. There is a reason, there is a purpose as to why you are alive today. It is upon you find your purpose.
Yes.
Now the moment you start on that journey, then you get a sense of fulfillment. It's just like
you never stop.
The moment you start that journey. Yes, it's just like you have this vacuum that is filled. The longing for who you are stops when you
Mm.
find purpose.
Mm.
You seem to come alive.
You grow.
You're like, I've started living. I've met people who have started living at age 50
Yeah.
because they have found their purpose. You understand? At age 50, he's been working from the age of 23, working in government, and at 50, he realizes that actually I wasted
a lot of
time
yeah.
doing everything else
Apart
to
from my
support
purpose.
everyone else than doing what I was created for. So they discover purpose at the age of 50. And
they come alive.
And they come alive and they start living. To them, they start living when they discover their purpose. It's like at age 50,
they are born.
They are born and they're like, what did I wait for? How come
what
it took me long?
This long? Yeah. Who hid this from me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So life here gains meaning. By the way, it's the simple things. God is so special in the way he does his things. You understand? God is so special in the way he has created us. What brings meaning to our life is something that you despise every day. It's something that you ignore every day.
And you do it, you know it, you feel it.
But the day you start and you start pursuing
but you despise it, yeah.
Oh my. Everything doors. About you begins to change. Why? Because you found purpose.
You said yes.
Oh yes.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so here are 3 insights to help you begin your journey of personal growth. Growth isn't automatic. Unlike wines and cheeses, people don't necessarily get better with age. Growth isn't a guaranteed process.
Yeah.
You cannot expect wisdom to automatically come with age. Sometimes age comes alone. Sometimes age comes along. And this is the worst form of truth. You know, growing or aging and like wakula mwawa, there's nothing to you.
And until you find a 45-year-old behaving like a 20-year-old.
Even a 20-year-old is even better. Behaving like a teenager.
I agree with him when he says
it's not automatic.
Yeah, it's not automatic.
It doesn't necessarily, it's not guaranteed that because you're growing, so that growth is also going to, come along. No, it's a decision that you make. And whether you make that decision at 20, or you make that decision, there are people that have made it at 19, at 18.
Yes.
Personal growth.
Yes.
And that person, they will be the envy of the community.
No, by age 30,
they will have hit their goals.
Exactly.
They will be retiring. They will be impacting the world.
Yeah.
They will be doing their parents' wildest dreams.
Yes.
The things their parents did not achieve, they'll be able to achieve.
Yes.
Why? Because they took it on. And that is why I even think in the same breath that personal growth is not transferable and it's not inherited.
Actually, it's one mistake that most people do, most especially when you are raising children. For you to think that you can pass on wealth, you lie to yourself when you think you can pass it on to them. You can give them a good life while you're still alive. Yeah. But when you're gone, or even when you're still alive, by the way, they can become a total nightmare.
A mess. Yeah.
Yes, I've seen children who have decided to kill their own parents. Why? Because they feel like they would want to sell the next piece of land.
They're standing in their way.
Yes, they're standing in their way. They would want to sell the house. And guess what? To
and
just
you're leaving, you're
blow
not
it,
dying.
blow it, you know. So you paid sacrificially, you paid with sweat, you know, to earn what you have. And all of a sudden, there's someone who's just waiting at the other end to just blow it. Why? Because you think you can transfer it. You can't.
No, you can't.
You
Even
can't.
the growth,
you can't. You can't prepare them. You can prepare them to make their own choices for personal growth.
Yes.
And I've had an opportunity to mingle, to have these kind of discussions with older people, much older than me, and most of them will tell you that the worst mistake I've ever made in this life is to assume that I can give them a good life. They have to earn
it. Yeah.
They have to earn it. And because I thought I would give it to them, right now, I'm in my old age and I have tons of regrets.
Yeah.
Because Baliao, they're like, hand to the mouth,
The messed up.
and just waiting for daddy.
Mm.
You know, when you
Not
have,
willing to struggle
when you have a 40-year-old
that stays in your house,
waiting for daddy.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
So personal growth is a choice, and at this point, age does not really matter.
Yep.
You can choose now.
Okay, so
exactly. Growth begins with humility. Hilda, I was just thinking about all of
I know. Digesting it.
When you begin digesting, you will never stop. Anyway, growth begins with humility. You have to recognize your need for growth, which means putting aside pride and being honest with yourself, because growth is sustained when you commit to a plan that helps you grow.
It begins with humility.
Yep.
You have to recognize that you need it.
Exactly.
That means you can't have the pride or the big ego like some people have, and they think I have it all. I mean, I have a bachelor's, and they think they own the world. Mm-hmm. You have to get to a place and know that actually I can learn more. I can learn a lot more than I ever learned in class.
Yes.
Like I can be able to even self-teach. I can be able to look for information. I can be able to do all these things more than I've ever even attained in class. So the humility part, by the way, that is something that we can't take for granted. If you want to grow, your plan has to have humility in it. Exactly. That you have to be humble enough and to learn from every kind of people. I think it's Pastor Christine that usually says with the categories of people that we need in our lives. Yes. And that you can learn from anyone. You can learn even from someone who is lower or who is younger than you, and then you can also learn from someone who is older than you or higher than you in status. So that means it takes humility to say, you know what, you're younger, but it seems whatever you're saying has sense, and I would want to sit under you and listen to what you are talking about.
Exactly. So you recognize that you need a growth. So you put aside your pride and be honest with yourself that I need to move. Yeah. I need to be better. I need to help myself here. And if I don't, no one is going to help me. So when you get to that point, it's obvious. You'll put aside your pride. You'll put aside amalala, you know.
Whether it's a new skill.
And you will sit and listen. Now, there are those people, most especially us men, who think that we know it all. Even listening to this to this recording, you understand is a hassle. You feel like I know it all.
What are they going to say?
The only thing here is, if you really know it all, then you're not supposed to be here. Because even as we are talking, we are learning.
Exactly. Understand? We are expounding and we are, things are crossing our mind.
Exactly. So the learning process never ends. You want growth, you never stop learning.
And humility is the sure way. Yeah. Wow, you must value yourself to add value to yourself. Often the greatest barrier to intentional personal growth is low self-esteem. When people don't see themselves as valuable, they are reluctant to work at improving themselves.
Very true.
You must love yourself.
Exactly.
You must say, there's something big inside of me. There's something I can give to the world. I think I can get more knowledge. I can get more skill. How can I do this better? Why? You believe in yourself. But if you don't believe yourself, you're always saying, I think they're the ones who can do it.
Yes. And there's no value addition without value. Because you can't give what you don't have. You want to give value, you must
add
have
value.
It.
Yes.
So if you want to add value, you must have it. Unless if you don't have it, you can't give it. So learn value addition techniques. They come with learning. When I learn something new, I grow. When I grow, I have something to give.
Valuable, very valuable.
Exactly. And people receive it. People appreciate
people pay for value.
And people pay for value. Exactly.
In money, in time, in everything.
People will always pay for that value.
And people respect value.
And they know it. When you're adding value, it's inevitable. One day I was looking at my receipt. I'd imported a car. Okay, now this is a funny one, guys. I'd imported a car and I had to pay tax, and there was value addition tax. So I asked myself, what value addition has Ugandan government added to this car, which was manufactured in Japan? It was so funny.
And you have to pay.
So I know when there's no value, you've not added any value to it.
I can tell that you're just pulling money out of my pocket, but there is nothing
no
much
value
you have
addition to
done.
that car, so I shouldn't.
Has anyone ever, like, people, you pay for a conference, you go and then you're like, you know what, I should have gone and taken a cup of coffee, or I should have gone and bought a book to read, or so, and that should never happen to you.
Exactly.
If you're seeking to impact lives, you have to have, your rivers have to be full. You have to have value to give to the people. And value is like magnet. It attracts people. And value attracts value.
True.
The people that see your value, when they come to your value, they are willing to pay for it. They hunger for it, and they want it so badly.
Yes, exactly.
And a person, I will say this, a foolish person will say foolish. Even when they see something valuable, they will say that is either a lie or a fraud. They will seek to put it down. I don't know whether you've seen those kinds of people.
Because what happens when you're a fool, you're incapacitated
to understand.
Yes.
The
so you have to qualify past being the fool, as in you. for as long as you still have the qualification of a fool, then you're incapacitated. You
can't even understand.
Yes,
you
everything
can't
does not make sense. Yes, it's just like one example. I don't know. You can't see beyond. So tell me.
It's like you have a veil on your face.
Exactly. So
and that's the farthest you
how
can
do you
see.
Expect me?
So if you tell me anything, it sounds like rocket science.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're taking a rocket to the moon.
Yeah.
And so even the simplest things, they will not understand. So they will, and because they don't understand, they will seek to destroy.
So the only way you break that barrier is when you say, I've not understood. So in other words, saying, I am not a fool. I don't want to be a fool.
That's the humility. To understand.
So when I go to see a doctor and he uses a language that I don't understand, I don't pretend that I know.
And just walk away. You say in a layman's language.
I'm like, Musawo, so he explains and he's like, okay, I don't mind even if he goes in my local dialect. At least I want to understand. Because
you will not be helped. But that takes humility.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. We'll spend the whole day here if we try to dissect everything.
Every person has value, and that's for sure.
Yes.
Every person has the potential to grow. That is true. Yes. Absolutely. That includes you. We should never compare ourselves to anyone else. We should only compare the person we are with the person we could become if we grow.
Yes.
Then we should strive to become that person of potential.
He's not telling you that go and seek out for someone and be like them. He's saying seek to grow so that the only comparison you have is the person before. And I feel so bad that I didn't bring that picture of you. You remember the gray one? I wish I should have shown them that picture. And as in, when you compare yourself to that person, who you are right now is not that person. Because I remember that, but by the time you took that picture, you had just bought an Ipsum. You had just bought an Ipsum. And who you are right now is clearly thousands of miles, millions of miles away from that. So if we say that,
and I refused. I refused to buy a second hand.
I know.
Or a car that, okay.
Even if it was an Ipsum.
Yes, I said at least I'll be the first one to drive it here. Okay, it's a used. It was a used car because I
from Japan. Yes.
But I said I'll be the first one to use it here.
And how did we keep that money?
Thank you for another day. The thing is, you look at that picture
and look at where you are right now.
There is a huge difference, and that is growth. You know where you want to be. You are not yet there, but you're not settled where you are.
You keep
because you want to be there, so you keep.
And that is the person
you keep
want
to be.
And then you strive.
Is that person of
potential? Wow.
And you know, Hilda, I always have this in me, that there is someone better than me, and that someone is somewhere.
Yeah,
so
I can learn from
never
them.
I never stop learning from them and searching. When I find someone that adds value, when I find someone that impacts my life, when I find someone that is good at what they do,
and it's very
number
evident.
1, I salute them. Number 2, I give them all the respect. Number 3, I sit at their feet
to learn, to drink.
Now, I never forget that in this world there are people that are at my level. The ones who will understand my problems, who will not only understand my problems, but that will feel for me when I'm going through what I'm going through, and be there 150% for me, because we are in the same boat.
Yes.
And those people are very special. I need them all the days of my life. I will never forget the other category. The other category is someone who looks up to me, who says, if Tim has made it,
then I can make it. I know.
So when I do anything that I do, I have a person at the back of my mind that is looking up to me. I don't want to disappoint.
That I will not stumble them.
I don't want to disappoint them.
Yes.
Because if I disappoint them, I kill them.
Their visions and
so
their
I would
dreams.
want to be the right example. Okay, paint the actual picture and lead them right.
Wow.
So in everything that I do, I have him in mind. But then I also know there is this person at my level, man. When things are tight and bad,
they understand.
Exactly. Kati ansinga kuwaliwo ebizibu byatategeera. So I don't want to overstress them.
I know.
Yes.
By the way.
Yes, because I'm
when you're saying
understand.
I need 100 millions, they are talking in billions.
So when you say they don't understand.
Yeah.
When he goes to have steak, he'll have steak of $40.
And
so you're saying
what is it called? Is it rare? The one that is not even nicely done.
The pulled one. I think about the pulled pork.
I know. The pulled pork? No. Amazing. You can only give something you have. In his book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, John highlights the powerful truth that we should be contributors to the world around us. As John says, we should become like rivers and not reservoirs. Wow. We should share what we have and not hold it.
Thank you. Thank you.
We share what we have
and not
hold it. And we should become like rivers and not reservoirs, because reservoirs are like dams. They just keep the water.
Exactly.
And it gets dirty.
Everything happens in a reservoir.
Yeah.
And do you know why you have a reservoir? It's because you're not so sure about tomorrow. It's because you're trying to take care of what God has taken care of.
Yeah.
Now with a river,
you worry a lot.
With a river, it flows. It has fresh waters. It flows.
It does not worry where the water is going to come from. Its duty is to flow.
Constantly.
In season and out of season.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow.
A reservoir, you hold.
And then
because you're not
when
so
the
sure
famine
about
comes,
tomorrow.
you dry.
Yeah, because you will finish it anyway.
Because then you don't have a
be
source.
a river. Because those swamps, I mean,
springs.
The springs, thank you. I was looking for the word. They never run
dry.
And those ones are found in God. They're in God Himself. Those are because
they're like a tree that is planted by the water
when Jesus
side.
was talking to that woman, the Samaritan, told her that, drink of me, for you will never thirst again. Drink.
I am the source.
I am
the true
and you will
source.
never thirst again. Oh, very deep.
You can't give something
very
you don't
deep.
have.
You can't give what you do not have. Yeah.
Okay, so I hope that we get that. That is very, very powerful. If you are the kind of person who is trying to look, discover, find, or say yes to your purpose, that you are that kind of person that should be flowing. You do not have to worry about who copies you. You do not have to worry about who is doing what you do. And I think that is growth in itself.
You set pace, you lead.
Yeah.
You're a pathfinder.
And even when someone surpasses you, as in you want to push them even higher. you have the peace and the contentment that this is my calling and it's not going to change. It's not going to be taken away from me. No one is going to grab it away from me. Okay.
Personal growth fuels our capacity for giving to those around us. When we keep growing, we always have something to give. This process of giving our best to help others ultimately results in others giving their best to help us too. Personal growth fuels a culture of excellency and abundance.
It fuels the
It
culture
fuels the culture
of excellence and abundance. Wow.
Yeah.
It fuels our capacity for giving to those that are around us.
Exactly.
And everyone that has a calling, we're supposed to be givers.
Yeah.
Everyone that seeks to personally grow, you cannot grow in isolation. You grow with others.
Actually, when you isolate yourself, you die.
You die, yes. Because then even that knowledge alone is going to make you crazy. You've seen people who have wanted to be professors and they don't want to share, and they don't want, and even people who are too wise.
No, the best example I can give you, if you've ever had kids at home, I see this with Ariela. When we got our first child, Ariela, she had no one to learn from. So there was a bit of slow growth in certain things. Now I realized the brother,
oh my God,
learning so fast because
he has someone
he follows.
to follow.
So when they're together, he grows faster. You get that point?
Exactly.
Because then someone quickly fuels the growth.
Wow.
As in when it comes to calling daddy, it's faster. You remember how Ariela struggled? Took long to even tell the difference. That this is daddy, this is mommy. Sometimes she would call me mommy and call you daddy, and sometimes call you daddy and call me mommy.
Because no one was calling
Ariel
that.
Has the difference from the word God, because Ariela calls me daddy. So he calls me daddy too. Yeah. Calls you mommy. As Ariel knows that you're mommy.
And he knows he has to ask for Cocomelon when he wants to watch Cocomelon. He cannot keep quiet.
So there is faster growth because it's being fueled by the togetherness.
They are growing
when
together.
You are together, you grow faster.
It's like the coals of fire.
Even that's why I think the Bible says that do not give up the habit
of fellowship.
Yes. Because when you are together, you grow faster. You share. You share your testimonies. You also have the opportunity to share your weaknesses, your strengths, your victories. Someone comes with a poem, as in you have something to give, and as someone is receiving, he has something to give. Exactly. So you grow faster. It's like,
and that's a beautiful growth.
Yes.
Very beautiful growth, because it's a supported growth.
Exactly. So as we're having this round table, there is growth.
Yes.
Growth. As you're watching, you're growing. Yeah. Now you're gonna ask me, I can't tell that I'm growing. You actually are growing.
As I am working with you, I am growing.
Yes.
Did you hear that? You didn't see that coming. Yes. Okay, so let's go to the benefits. If you consistently pursue personal growth, you will experience the following benefits. You will produce greater and continued success for yourself and for others.
Exactly.
Produce greater and like it's sustained kind of growth for yourself and for others. And so but that means you're not growing for you. You are growing to be better, but you're also growing for others.
Exactly, because this is what growth does. The only way we see growth is when the people around you are impacted. That's when we see the growth.
Yes.
You made an example of you bought a plot of land or you bought a car. You're not going to drive that car alone. No. You will have someone to transport in that car. Exactly. So someone is directly benefiting from your growth. So your growth impacts the people around you. When you build that house, you're not going to sleep in that house alone. You know, when your mother comes to visit, she's benefiting. Yes. When your cousin comes, they're benefiting from your growth. So your growth as a must impact the people around you.
Okay, and then we say you will unlock and achieve your full potential.
Yes.
You cannot achieve your full potential minus growth. Yeah. You will gain the confidence and ability to invest in the people around you. Confidence and ability. Yeah. You will focus on developing your strengths. Yes. And you will grow in humility and self-awareness. That's beautiful. I feel like taking in everything in here. Do you want to say something about it?
No, I think it's self-explanatory, Hilda. There's really nothing really to,
Okay, let's go to the steps to follow. Okay, and then we are saying that your destination or steps to follow in order to grow as a person. We want to go through those. Cure your destination disease. Many people make it their life goal to achieve a certain position, acquire some type of recognition or title, or earn a certain amount of money. What's the problem? If they achieve their goal, they stop improving.
Exactly.
Instead, make growth itself your goal, so that you are becoming so that who you are becoming holds more importance than where you are going.
Yes. Because the issue here, I think you mentioned it earlier, that the issue is about progress, not success,
and not destination, not arriving.
As in, when you start on the journey of growth, you don't stop.
Not for nothing.
You get the point. Because the day you stop is the day you start to die.
Yep.
So you continue, you keep growing, you keep growing, you keep adding value while you're also adding value onto others. Now, when you get to that place where you feel like, I think I'm content, then you begin
to go down.
To go down. So here, it's very simple. When you achieve, when you feel I've gotten all the money that I need, then
you
purpose ceases to be.
Yes.
Because then is money
it's like
all that you need in this world? No,
you
need more than money. Because you need relationships.
You need God.
There's God. The people who have the money but cannot enjoy it. Okay, now that is for another day. Probably it's deeper for us to discuss now, because I was preaching someday and I said, relationships serve a very, very deep and core meaning to life.
Yes.
And I think that's the ultimate reason as to why Jesus had to come and die for us. It is a relationship that Jesus was dying for between us and God, because it had died. Now, when we restore that relationship, that's what brings meaning to life. Now, everything else is about that relationship. How I relate with you, how I relate with others. Otherwise, if you were just singled out to be on an island somewhere, you understand, then you would have everything that you need around that island.
And you'll be okay.
But when you consume and finish it, then you die. Because that will be the end of you. But the reason as to why you need people around you is their relationship with you serve a much deeper interest, vision, purpose to your existence than just you existing.
Yeah, that's powerful. It's settling in. It's settling in. Okay, let's go to number 2, steps to follow.
Learn something new every day. A friend once asked John, when was the last time you learned something for the first time? The growth you experienced last week, last month, or last year won't sustain you. You need to keep learning now. Pick something new to learn and start today.
Remember, we're talking about the steps to follow if you want to grow. And we said number 1 is you cure your destination disease. It's a destination.
Yes.
Like, when I marry, when I get a wife, when I give birth to children,
exactly.
When I get
so you deal with the arrivism.
You cure that. Deal with the arrivism, and now learn something new every day.
And you can challenge yourself to that, by the way.
It can be a concept. You can read a book. You can watch videos. You can talk to someone.
Yeah. You challenge yourself to learn something.
Yeah. Can be a skill, anything. So learn something new every day. Intentionally plan your growth. How do you want to grow? Who do you want to become? Do you want to improve your craft? Do you want to become a better leader? Do you want to improve your people skills? Find books, messages, podcasts, articles, workshops and conferences that will help you to grow. Then plan out which you will take advantage of every week in the next year.
Yep.
Okay, so beginning today, you intentionally plan your growth. You ask yourself, how do I want to grow?
Yep.
What do I want to become? Okay, and then do you want to improve your craft? Is it a skill that you need to learn? Is it a new language that you need to learn? What is it that you need to learn? Do you need to learn baking? Do you need to learn how to be a coach? Do you need to learn what exactly is that?
You want to improve your communication skills.
And then you seek people that are providing that service. And then you sign up for it and say that, you know what, like for so many people that have signed up for the mentorship class, testimonies, endless testimonies every day of people like, I don't know, I took long. I should have known this sooner. But that means if you plan it, then you're able to do it sooner, and then you're able to prolong a good life or the living.
Exactly.
Because you say that when someone finds their purpose, they begin to live. So you need to live longer. You don't need to find your purpose or say yes to your purpose when you're 50 or 60, and then you enjoy it for less time. I think it's better we find it very quickly so that we are able to actually grow beyond our wildest dreams. Exactly. So what we would love to hear from you is your take-home points from this podcast or from this article. Make sure that you put down your plan. Have you seen someone that has planned their personal growth so well? And what exactly did they do? Can you find out? Okay, that means because we learn from other people sometimes. What benefits would you receive by improving on your personal growth? That means, we've talked about confidence, we've talked about self-esteem, we've talked about how you impact other people's lives. So we want you to think about all this and be able to digest, okay? The person that exemplifies, the person that you admire, that has made personal growth their goal, and then what specific action can you immediately take to improve your growth as a person? Sure. Write it down, as in you owe it to yourself. This is a personal thing. This is not a group thing. It's not a bandwagon thing. You cannot bring your family and what. Yes, you can invite them to learn with you, but again, when it comes to your growth, it's you as a person.
Exactly. Life is a choice. Growth is a choice. Whatever that you choose today, choose growth.
Choose right. Okay. And for those of you that would love to join us on these roundtables, you have a chance to actually join us. If you want to be a facilitator of these roundtables, you can as well join us in facilitating these roundtables. The number to call or text or WhatsApp is 0757 117 117, so that we can go through the training of so that you can also discover your purpose and practice something that God intended for you to practice. True. So that we can impact the world together and transform the world together. Us alone, we can only do just that much. But when you tackle things from your corner and another person works from their corner, another person works from the other corner, that means that we are impacting the world and we are doing it faster and we are transforming lives. So many people are out there waiting for you as a person to step into your purpose. So if you think transforming lives is your purpose, we call upon you to come and work with us, okay, to transform people's lives. The number, you have it. Exactly. So we'll wait on the other end of the line to receive you.
We appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.